In our processes, the circle process, for example, we see three primary movements in the conversation. The first starts out with trying to look at what's the best in the parties and their hopes and their dreams. And this has been inspired by the priesthood of inquiry movement. The second movement that's important to us is trying to get beneath people's positions to their interests and needs, where we can get people to begin to work together to satisfy each other's interests and needs. And this has been inspired by interest-based mediation that came out of the Harvard Negotiation Project. The third movement is to deal with harm, because there's harm in every conflict. And there we've been inspired by the restorative justice movement. Let me just tell you an priesthood of inquiry story and then say a few words about it. I was involved in a worship war. I don't know if you've ever heard of worship wars, but some people like Bach cantatas and other people like contemporary music. And sometimes they don't get along with each other. So in this particular church, there was this situation where the Bach cantata folks didn't like what they call the 7-11 music, 7 words sung 11 times, and the contemporary folks didn't get anything out of the Bach cantatas. So we got together. But instead of asking them, what do you not like about Bach cantatas or what do you not like about contemporary music, I simply asked this question. Where from your own tradition, whether it's contemporary or traditional, have you felt truly close to God and neighbor in worship? And we had five persons from each of the two groups in the church that were at war with each other. And as they told their stories, half of those folks cried. They were so moved by their experiences, whether it was from contemporary or from traditional. And when everyone finished talking, everyone said, we want all of that. And then it was just a process of trying to weave all of that into worship in a way that was good and had some authenticity and integrity to it. It was a powerful experience, and it just grew on the positive core of their experience. AI is trying to get at that positive core. It believes that we spent too much time problem solving in this world, dealing with the negative, and it's taken us further and further into the negative and deeper into the negative. But they believe that if we start with the positive core and build on that, exciting things can happen. And every organization, every church has a positive core. It's just a matter of helping define it. Now, in terms of the inquiry part of the priesthood inquiry, there is a great emphasis on the power of questions, good questions. And this has become very important to our work. T.S. Eliot says that Jesus was the great asker of questions. We know that much of what Jesus said was in the form of a question. We know that questions can open us up in ways that statements never do. So we become a believer that a large part of our work is working to help ourselves and others create good questions that get at the positive core of people's experience. And one great example for us and one model for us has been the Quaker Clearness Committee. This is a process where if you have a dilemma and you're a Quaker, you will call upon some wise elders or wise people in your congregation to sit down with you and help you gain clarity, greater clarity about your dilemma, whether it's whether you should get married or whether you should take this job or whether you should do whatever. This Clearness Committee never gives advice. They never tell you what to do. They don't talk about their own experiences as informing your experiences. They simply ask questions that take you deeper and deeper and deeper until you gain greater clarity and begin to see things you've never seen before, think thoughts you've never thought before, see ways through this dilemma that you never dreamed possible. It's powerful. And in many ways, that's what we're trying to do in the circle process, is ask those questions that allow folks to go deeper and deeper So the circle becomes a spiral. It takes us to places that are more creative, more imaginative, more whole, more healthy, more wise than we could have ever done by ourselves.